Do you ever feel like you have to work extra hard in order to earn wealth? I think most people would probably say yes. But in reality, wealth isn't something you fight your way to. Money is a form of energy, and it flows toward high energy beings. Just like water flows downward, just like planets orbit around the sun. You must first become a high energy person in order to naturally attract a high energy wealth. And to become that kind of person, there's one essential belief you must carry deep within. You have to believe consistently and unwaveringly that you can create wealth from the inside out, from nothing into something, from 0 to 1. Because your true source of wealth is your own powerful inner energy. Most people get it completely backwards. They blame everything on external conditions and believe they have to be good enough to deserve wealth. But here's the truth. How much wealth you have isn't decided by external circumstances. It's created by your inner world, flowing outward. Even if you don't have a massive inheritance, even if you don't hold the elite degree or come from a privileged background, even if you are at the rock bottom right now with nothing left, you can still start over and create your own wealth from scratch. But there is one condition. You have to rediscover the gold mine you are born with, your innate gift, and then have the courage, the discipline, and the devotion to fully live it out. During my recent vacation, I witnessed firsthand how wealth can truly be created by human from nothing, from 0 to 1, out of seemingly thin air. When I visited the shredded snake kiln in Nantou, Taiwan, I watched as my child, my husband, and I molded simple lumps of clay into beautiful cups, bowls, and adorable little animals with our own hands. We paid a not so small fee for these handmade creations and also bought several of the gorgeous glazed bowls and teacups they had crafted. In other words, all they provided was clay from earth and a warm, welcoming team who guided us through the process. And through this, they created a steady, flowing stream of wealth. At that moment, I felt it so clearly. This ability to transform raw materials from nature into something of emotional and economic value, that's the essence of true 0 to 1 creativity. And honestly, each one of us is sitting on a gold mine just like that. But how many of us are truly aware of it? Later, we visit a historic brewery in Puli and experience the 1,000-year-old tradition of turning rice into wine. This is where the famous Shaoxing wine originates. Just a few days earlier, I had read a picture book to my child called The Little Backpack about how farmers take a single seeding of wheat and turn it into ripe rice, harvest it, and make it into streaming bowls of rice, chewy mochi, and rice wine. All of these foods and drinks that we know so well, they all come from nature, but it is human hands, hearts, and energy that transform them into something meaningful. And it's precisely because these creations are infused with high-frequency energy that they can be exchanged in the real world for wealth. Then we went to the chocolate castle. We got to experience the full process, from picking cacao pods off the trees to fermenting, sun-drying, and grinding the beans, all the way to pouring melted chocolate into molds, waiting for it to cool and harden, then finally tasting it ourselves. The creators of Chocolate Castle designed this whole experience, and from every family that participates, every visit, they receive continuous and meaningful financial return. But the beginning of all of this, it started with one person and a single vision. That vision gave birth to a chocolate-scented castle, welcoming countless families to create DIY chocolates every single day, while at the same time producing box after box of chocolates shipped to supermarkets and home across the country. Just like that, wealth quite literally flowed out from a single cacao tree. On the same trip, we passed by Salmon Lake. Surrounding this breathtaking natural gift, people built one of the world's most beautiful cycling trails. They created guest houses, restaurants, food stalls. They added boats that carry visitors across the water day after day. And they even designed a theme park based on indigenous culture, giving both the children and the parents lots of joy. All of it, every ticket, every coffee sold, every bike rented, is the result of humans participating in and creating with nature. This is what real, grounded, enduring wealth looks like. Creation from nothing. And this whole journey made me realize something deeper. From the moment we're born, every one of us is gifted with a secret offering from nature, our talent. This talent isn't some skill we learn later in life. It's a source of energy embedded within us, waiting to be discovered, explored, reflected on, and finally awakened. Put another way, finding your gift is one of your greatest life assignments. And once you found it, your next mission is to express it fully, courageously, wisely. When someone both recognizes their gift and has the courage to live it out, they are no longer stuck in the question of, what should I do? They no longer fear being replaced, forgotten, or left behind. Such people don't just build a rich inner world, they inevitably create a stable, abundant, and lasting outer world as well. You could say our talents are the gold mountain that nature placed inside us. But the unfortunate truth is, it feels like as if there's some invisible force quietly blocking us from discovering our true gifts, placing one obstacle after another along our life's path. These obstacles form an unseen web that traps us. They turn most of us into exhausted NPCs, passively moved around by fate, living in fear, wasting time, and losing the light of life little by little through internal struggle and self-doubt. The first type of web that traps us from discovering our own talent is called social labels. From the moment we're born, society starts assigning us identities, patriarchy, hierarchies, obedience systems, nobles and commoners, employers and employees, leaders and laborers. These structures might seem normal, but they were designed to make us behave, stay in line, and not cause trouble, to make us gradually give up the independent thinking, give up inner exploration, until we forget who we are. The second example of the web that traps us from discovering our talent happens after post-industrial revolution. We sold off our natural rhythm. Since the Industrial Revolution, our true selves have been layered over with external noise. As material goods become abundant, we slowly, often unknowingly, fell into the trap of consumerism. Most of us become assetless middle class. No land, no control over our time, no freedom of pace. All we could do was sell our labor and our skills in exchange for what looked like stable income. The third type of web trap is very obvious here. It's called the trap of consumerism, defining ourselves by what we buy. Because of the rise of consumerism, we stopped defining ourselves by who we are and started defining ourselves by what we own, our brands, our labels, our lifestyle symbols. To feel important, we buy luxury handbags. To prove status, we take out loans for cars and homes, post pictures on social media to show the world that we're doing just fine. And in order to keep up with this collective illusion, we sacrifice our gifts, choosing work we have no interest in, doing jobs we're not even good at, day after day, draining our bodies, suppressing our souls, just to package up our spirit, our talent, and our time and sell them off to help someone else grow their wealth. The result? These people, which means most of us, ended up never reclaiming our gifts. Our talents are wasted, buried, forgotten. What replaces them? A suffocating emotional reality. Fear of being laid off, fear of being irrelevant, fear of not being recognized, fear of being labeled as less than. We live trapped in a world full of scarcity, fear, envy, and confusion. But now, all of this is being turned upside down by the age of AI. AI is rapidly replacing every skill that can be standardized. It's faster, more accurate, tireless. It doesn't complain, doesn't take breaks, doesn't ask for a raise. You can no longer trade your obedience or hard work for value. It sounds like a crisis, but to me, it's actually the greatest turning point of our time because it forces us to return to our true identity. Human beings were never meant to be cogs in the machine. We're not tools, we're not screwdrivers, we're creators. In the future, income will no longer come from trading time or feelings. It will come from using your innate gifts and inner compass to create new systems of value. And once you're connected to your true calling, you'll realize you really can shape gold from a lump of clay, a grain of rice, or a cacao bean. That's why I say finding your gift is like discovering a gold mine that can generate endless abundance in your life. It is a power of creation that flows from the level of consciousness, a source of energy that belongs to you, infinite and renewable. It isn't something someone else can give you, and it's not something you can simply acquire as a skill. It is a gift that nature placed inside your body the moment you are born. But in reality, we often meet three types of people. The first kind doesn't know what they are good at. They constantly feel, I don't think I'm really good at anything. The second kind has too many interests. They dabble in everything but master nothing. They don't know what to focus on. And the third kind? They believe their talent can't make money. Worse, they are afraid that AI will eventually replace them. That's why the question of how do I find my true path in life and turn my talent into real power is becoming one of the most important questions of our generation. So, how do you find your natural talent? The answer is very simple. Start by understanding yourself. Your gift isn't hidden in someone else's opinion of you. It's deeply embedded in the details of your own life. Here are 5 powerful ways to bring you closer to the most real, most radiant version of yourself. The first method is return to your childhood and rediscover your purest love. Think back to before you started school, around age 6 or younger. What did you love doing the most? Back then, your interests weren't shaped by societal labels or expectations. They came from instinct. They were real. Maybe it was singing, drawing, building with blocks, telling stories, things that may have seemed insignificant at the time, but could have been the very first signs of your gift. The second method is look at where your money goes, because money doesn't lie. Where did you spend your most money over the past year? Was it courses, books, travel, hobbies? Your money always flows in the direction of your attention and energy. The areas where you are willing to invest again and again often points straight towards your deepest passion and your potential. The third method is ask yourself, who do you long to become? Who do you truly admire? It could be a public figure or someone close to you, a parent, a mentor, a friend. What qualities or behaviors in them do you deeply respect? Here's the thing. What you admire in others is often a reflection of what's still asleep within you. Your gift might be hidden in that longing. Method number 4, follow your constant curiosity. As kids, we're always asking why. And even though we've grown up, that curiosity never really goes away. It just gets buried. Is there a topic that no matter how many years go by, you still can't help clicking on? A subject you're happy to study, dive into, and even teach others about? That kind of curiosity that never fades is your internal compass. Your gift is pointing you in that direction. Method number 5, what feels effortless for you but hard for others? Is there something you've always been able to do with ease? Something others constantly praise you for? Have you ever placed top in a competition without even trying that hard? That thing you just do well without much effort? That's your gift. And it's already shining through. Remember, your gift is not something you have to go out and find. It's always been there. You just haven't seen it clearly yet. And the closer you get to your authentic self, the more naturally you will realize you've been glowing all along. These 5 methods were inspired by a book I love. It's called The Easiest Way in the World to Find What You Want to Do by best-selling Japanese author Jinpei Yagi. He once spent years feeling lost, unsure of what he really wanted. To find answers, he dove deep into psychology, self-awareness theory, and interviewed hundreds of people who had discovered their life direction. Eventually, he developed a simple and effective method to help anyone find their inner passion and unique talent. The purpose of his book is to guide anyone standing at a crossroads back to themselves, so they can walk a path that truly belongs to them. Some of you may ask, what if I find my gift, but it doesn't make money? That's a totally valid concern. And in the book, Jinpei Yagi addresses this head on. He believes that monetizing your gift is not an instant process. It's something that evolves from your passion into small experiments and finally into a sustainable income model. He emphasizes, don't dismiss your excitement just because it doesn't make money yet. Instead, pay attention to the things you could work on for years, even without immediate reward. Real monetizable gifts aren't always what you are best at right now. They are what you're willing to go deep in again and again until you create real value. Even if your gift isn't profitable yet, you can start with something small. Write, create, teach, build something, start a podcast. Bit by bit, these things will begin to connect with the real world. He encourages everyone to build their own life navigation map. Start with deep self-understanding, define your ideal life, and reverse engineer the kind of career and income that will support it. Your talent may not start out making money, but it will always be the deepest source of energy behind your wealth. At the same time, you need to understand Discovering your gift is not something you can accomplish in a few days. It's not a test with a clear endpoint. It's a lifelong journey of exploration and awareness. Kroc, the founder of McDonald's, didn't even meet the McDonald brother until he was 52 years old. But through sharp intuition and bold action, he transformed what was once a small local restaurant into the world's largest fast food empire. And then there is Anna Mary Robertson Moses, better known as Grandma Moses, a self-taught American painter who didn't begin her art career until she was 78. She was a farmer for most of her life, but after she got sick and couldn't continue with heavy labor work, she picked up a paintbrush. Her art went on to captivate the world, and she continued painting until her death at the age of 101 years old. Today, she's celebrated as the symbol of American folk art. Their stories remind us your gift is not something you must have figured out by the age of 20. It's a lifelong invitation to discover, to explore, and to live it into being. We come to understand our gifts not all at once, but little by little through experience, experimentation, and continued self-alignment. But most importantly, the process must come more and more from your own authentic intuition, rather than from external validation, other people's expectations, or social standards. Only when you are willing to follow your inner call, rather than relying on logic or what others say you are good at, can you begin to walk the path that truly belongs to you. Along the way, your courage, your confidence, your creativity, and your power to act will all begin to awaken. This will support you in fully expressing your gift and turning it into real visible value and impact. And this journey isn't just important for ourselves. It's just as sacred, maybe even more so, for us as parents raising children. Helping a child discover their gift is not just part of parenting or education. It's one of the most precious gifts we could ever give them. But for a child's gifts to truly bloom, parents must first help their children cultivate the inner soil, qualities like self-confidence, courage, curiosity, focus, resilience, inner drive, a sense of responsibility. These are the true roots that allow a child's talent to grow deep and strong. You may not be able to clear every obstacle from your children's path. You can stand by them with unwavering belief and say, you've had it in you all along. You are born with power. A child who received that kind of belief will not only find their way in adulthood, but will move through life's storms with direction, resilience, and creativity. Because a child who lives out their true calling is one of the most powerful forces in this world. Their energy is positive, expansive, overflowing. And their worth is rooted not in outside approval, but in a deep inner knowing. I came into this world with a purpose. People like that, they are the ones who bring miracles into the world. And as a parent, what could be more fulfilling than to witness your child discover their gift and live it out fully? That's not just the highlight of parenting. It's a profound echo of your own soul's purpose. When your children find their path because of you, in that moment, you too have completed one of your life's most powerful creations. When you finally reclaim your own true gift and mission, your path will begin to unfold beneath your feet, step by step, clear and strong. You will no longer feel lost. You will no longer be swayed by the noise of the world, because you will know you are walking a path that's entirely your own. From that moment on, you will become unstoppable. You will realize you are capable of having both a life of mature abundance on the outside and a sense of peace, stability, and fulfillment on the inside. And this isn't some faraway dream. It's a power you've already had within you, just waiting to be seen, to be awakened, and to be fully lived. Thank you for being with me today. I hope it helps. See you in the next video.